Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on the Flash movie. So one of the longest running discussions and I guess theories and just overall questions when it comes to the Flash film or movie is really nothing about the movie itself, funnily enough. Maybe one of the longer running questions could be about, something around Flashpoint in the story there. But I think the easy answer to what the longest running question has been is, of course, that of, is Grant Gustin going to be in the Flash movie? Now, we are at around the, 2-month mark until the movie comes out. Around 2 months. Crazy. This year has gone insanely quick. Felt like yesterday that the trailer came out around the Super Bowl, and that was in February. But yeah, Grant Gustin, Flash movie, appearance, possibilities. What's going on there? What's happening? Now, when they filmed the movie, of course, it was still during the times of COVID. Ooh, elusive. Ooh, scary. And there was, of course, slim possibilities, very slim, that Grant would be flying over to the UK with all the different, precautions and security things in place. And of course, the UK is where they filmed the Flash movie, or at least the principal production of it. So it was pretty rare they're going to fly him over there to do anything with the main filming. However, since that point in time, there has been a bunch of pickup shoots and some reshoots done in Los Angeles at the Warner Brothers Studios, or Burbank to be exact. That's been well publicized, mainly because Ezra Miller had attended some of them, or at least most of them, after all that drama, which thankfully has sort of died down for the most part. But these pickup shoots, for the most part, were actually done when Grant was in LA and on break from the Flash TV show between seasons 8 and 9 at around the same time. They were done after season 8 had wrapped filming and when he was on break. So this sparked the theory engine as to whether Grant would be showing up or not. And of course, many have noted down and just noticed that the director for the Flash film, that being Andy Muschietti, does follow Grant on Instagram. Coincidence? You decide. But one person who hasn't really been brought into the discussion at all, and been asked about whether Grant Gustin would or would not be in the Flash movie in any way, shape or form, is the man himself, Grant Gustin. And luckily, thanks to a discussion with TV Line, we got some feedback. So let's hear what Grant had to say.
Now, a little bit after the series finale, we got the Flash movie coming out.
Yeah.
Are you invited to the premiere?
I haven't received an invitation yet, but hopefully. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you been keeping tabs on the trailers and everything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was, like everybody probably in the 90s, loved Michael Keaton as Batman, and he's back as Batman. And it sounds like they've got just about everything else packed into that movie.
What about it makes you most curious? What are you most curious to see?
Probably that, to be honest. See, Keaton back in the suit and, how they incorporate it.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
But also just, it's always exciting to see a feature of that scale and what they're going to be able to do with Flash, in that type of setting, in that type of vehicle. And as a Flash fan myself now, I'm just excited to see what they do with it.
I have twin sons in college. If I were to wager the remainder of their tuition on you appearing in the Flash movie in some capacity, would that be a smart play?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors out there for a long time, and no one's come out directly and asked me ever, on the record, and and the entire time, people ask me on the street all the time, and yeah, I'm not keeping some big elaborate secret. Yeah, no.
You know what's wild? I was looking up. Ezra Miller was cast 1 week.
Yep.
After the Flash premiered on TV.
Yeah, it's kind of been looming the whole time. It was the day I think our second episode was airing. They announced that, Ezra. And they were.
What kind of feelings did that drum up in you?
It was weird, I guess. Yeah, I just started out on my journey, so it was. I was like, oh wow, they're doing a movie. It was.
You're like, could I audition for the movie?
No, I was happy to be what I was doing, and and I was working with Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti and guys that I couldn't have been more grateful to be working with, and guys that I knew really understood who the Flash was and really wanted to take care of the character. So I was happy where I was. It was just, it was it's just that it's just been there the whole time. But not really, because now it's finally coming out as we wrap up.
So the big thing when this came out, it's the big thing on Twitter. It's a 2-word, actually it's probably I guess 2-word answer or a 2-word reply. And that's Andrew Garfield. That's what people are saying. It's just a repeat of the Andrew Garfield situation. So if you don't know what the Andrew Garfield situation is, this is in reference to the Spider-Man No Way Home thing. So Andrew Garfield had 2 films coming out around the time that's in the lead up to Spider-Man No Way Home. So whenever he was doing press for these films, people were asking about, is he going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home? And he had to keep saying no and keep playing off no, I'm playing dumb. those stuff had leaked. There was literally photos of him on set that leaked, and he still had to play dumb. And like even people showed him the photos of him on set, and he had to play dumb, saying like, no, it's Photoshop, everything like that. So whenever there's a situation like that happening, which is going to happen a lot of like the comic book stuff with like cameos and everything like that, people usually refer to as like an Andrew Garfield situation. And is Grant in that situation here? And look, I don't know if the answer is necessarily yes, but he's sort of going down the same road. Now, one of the big things here is that Grant doesn't say, no, I'm not in it. He does not say that at all. He just says that he isn't holding some like elaborate secret or something like that, and that he was sort of surprised that he isn't asked this question more in interviews. Though this was like the first time it's been probably brought up in one of these interviews, but it's mainly because this is really the first in-depth interview that Grant has done in the lead up or around the period of the movie, because as we said, it's within the 2-month period from this point. And like the last time Grant did proper interviews was like a year ago. So maybe if he does some interviews leading up to the finale, I don't know if that's going to happen, but if he does, I'm sure there'll be more people asking about whether he's going to be in the movie or not. But yeah, he plays a pretty good poker face. He just sort of smiles it off and just sort of like, sort of laughs at the situation that, people think he's going to be in there and everything like that. But it's also him just trying to keep a good poker face at the same time. Now, whether he does a good job or not is whether he's in the movie or not. And we see it, come middle of June when the movie comes out, as to whether he shows up or not. But that's a wait and see. But in regards to it, is he actually going to be in it? In my opinion, I think it's probably just a straight 50-50. It's a straight 50-50. And the main reason for that is that there is nothing that's come out or leaked that says he's in it. There's just people saying that they've heard he's in it. Now, there is the strong possibility, because we know they're reusing footage from old movies and maybe like, using like a different like technology to maybe like update them or, construct them in a different way where they appear differently. That's apparently happening in this movie when it comes to like the multiverse stuff that we see, mainly with like older characters from like the 60s, 70s and 80s and stuff like that. So there is a decent possibility that maybe they could do this with a scene with Grant. Maybe they reuse the Crisis scene that had Ezra Miller's Flash showing up in Star Labs. Maybe they rework that and use the exact same stuff with Grant and his angle, but they update Ezra's suit. They update it to the new one that he has. So when he comes in, he's like the Ezra's Barry's got the brand new suit that he wears in the movie, but Grant's still wearing the suit he has at the moment. It's still in Star Labs. Maybe they can even update the background if they want to. They could reuse that. So Grant didn't film anything new, but Ezra did, and it still played into the movie and still works into the movie somehow, and it still serves as a cameo, I guess. But once again, that's a wait and see. I don't think anything is going to leak. I think your best chance at something leaking would be when like people get to go to the early screenings and stuff like that. And with a movie like this, they wouldn't do them too far in advance, those early screenings. So maybe within like a week of the movie coming out, it could leak out, but yeah, who knows. Now, another thing in that clip there is that it's brought up that the Flash TV show was essentially like bookended pretty much by the movie that's about to come out in 2 months. So Ezra Miller was announced as the Flash, and that whole casting was announced like pretty much as the show was starting, when like I think the second episode was airing, or the day that the second episode aired. I think they said that in that video. And the movie is coming out a couple of weeks after the show wraps up, after 9 seasons. So it's pretty crazy that this whole Flash thing sort of works really well. It's like a book-ended thing, with the movie bookending the TV show. It's sort of crazy. It's just weird how it's worked out that way, and I don't think that's intentional. It just has, with all the COVID delays and stuff like that. And The Flash only has 13 episodes for its final season. It just worked out in a really weird way. And it almost feels like the perfect way to do it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I mean, it'd be perfect now that you think about it with the book ending, that Grant does appear in a cameo in the movie. It almost feels like a wasted opportunity, and like you're ruining a potentially perfect moment by not doing it. But the last thing to talk about that comes from that clip is that Grant says that he's sort of like happy that the way things worked out, to have been the TV Flash over the movie one. And I think that's more in hindsight. Like, I think in hindsight, you look back and it goes, yeah, that was the correct decision. At the time, who knows? Like, I think when Grant was sitting there when like he got cast in the TV show, I was like, oh, maybe wouldn't have minded being the movie version. But when you look back at it in hindsight now in 2023, the fact that a Flash show went for 9 seasons and is going to end before the Flash movie even comes out, that just shows you there was some issues there. And of course, like, if Grant chose the movie thing, he would have been in the exact same position as Ezra, because Ezra wasn't the reason that the movie got delayed, like except for like one thing, because of like Fantastic Beasts, crossing over and stuff, and they delay the movie like a couple of months so Ezra could finish filming that movie. But over that time, Grant got to be the Flash, the live action Flash, and unfortunately, you know, in regards to like Ezra Miller and whatever Ezra Miller's, you know, viewpoint is, Grant's always going to be seen as the quintessential live action Flash, at least for many, many years to come. Just because it was 9 years there, regardless of when people dropped out or jumped in or whatever it is, they still know Grant as the Flash, and Grant Gustin will always be synonymous with the Flash. So in hindsight, correct decision. At the time, you might have second guessed it, but yeah, definitely in hindsight, being the TV Flash for those 9 seasons was definitely the right way to go. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Grant Gustin is going to be in the Flash movie? Do you think this interview with him gives it away, or do you think he's telling the truth? He's not in it at all, at least doesn't know he's in it, and has no connections there. You let me know in the comment section down below. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it to show your support, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.